I want to talk a little bit about some of Jill Stein's comments on Twitter regarding abortion, because I think she has a rather interesting tweet on this, and let's pull it up. Jill Stein says, I practiced medicine for 25 years. I remember the days before Roe v. Wade, she means, watching friends endure the horrors of back alley abortions. I'm as furious with Republicans pushing these radical abortion bans as I am with decades of empty rhetoric from Democrats that continues to this day. Now, it's important to note that she is a Green Party candidate, so she is a third-party candidate outside of the Democratic and Republican parties. So she definitely has an angle to play here, but nevertheless, I think we should hear her out and see what she has to say here. In the nearly 50 years that Roe protected our bodily autonomy, Democrats controlled both chambers of Congress for no less than 22 of those years. For 6 of those years, they controlled both Congress and the White House. Democrats had multiple opportunities to codify Roe, and they failed. Even in 2022, when the Supreme Court of the United States took up the Dobbs case and advertised their intentions, leaked the decision nearly 2 months in advance, then issued the Dobbs decision and struck down Roe v. Wade. Even then, Democrats didn't get it done. And now we are all living with the consequences. Stories are pouring forth of women dying or suffering grave medical complications because they're being denied an abortion or the emergency care they need. With this trifecta in 2021 to 2022, Joe Biden could have guaranteed abortion rights before or after Dobbs. He didn't. Even without the cooperation of his party in Congress, a president has tools at their disposal to immediately secure abortion access and challenge these bans, such as using federal lands to construct abortion clinics or expanding the court. Joe Biden has taken none of these measures, and we have no reason to believe his hand-picked successor will either. So she's talking about Kamala Harris here. Never once in 51 years did Democrats make a serious effort to codify the right to an abortion into federal law. But they did raise billions of dollars from ordinary Americans who entrusted them to fight for us. Now, that's the important part, I think, that really strikes the issue, is that Democrats really like this issue as an opportunity for them to take advantage of it and use it to raise funds so that they can run for the next election and say, oh, we're willing to get in there and fight for your right, and all these things. It works as a really good issue, the same way the Republican Party often likes to run on immigration, the economy, or war, and they're very successful in those respects. And the same thing with the Democrats. They'll run on healthcare, they'll run on the economy, they will run on abortion and making sure that women have access to healthcare, and they will say that they care about these things, and they will posture and pretend and write bills and all this stuff, and none of it will get passed, or it'll just be them posturing about how important it is to them as they talk about it during the State of the Union. So it's important to note that 51 years, not once did Democrats make a serious effort to codify the right to an abortion into federal law, but they raised billions of dollars from ordinary Americans who entrusted them to fight for us. So what she means by that is that we raised money and voted for them and gave them money so that they could run their campaigns, so that they could get elected, only to not do what we put them in office to do. One among many things, of course, here. And so Jill Stein goes on to say, this is very personal to me. As a doctor, I know all too well that pregnancy itself is often a life-threatening condition. As an activist and a mother, I believe fiercely that no one should ever be forced to remain pregnant. Kamala Harris keeps referring to our current nightmare as fallout from Trump's abortion ban. But Trump couldn't do this on his own. The inaction of the Democratic Party is no less a betrayal of women than the extreme right-wing lawmakers and judges imposing these bans. Access to a safe abortion is a non-negotiable human right. It is health care, and like all health care, It should be guaranteed and freely available for anyone who needs it. In a Jill Stein, she goes on to say, in a Jill Stein administration, it will be. I don't find it likely that there will be a Jill Stein administration, and try to say that 5 times fast. I don't think, third parties, and especially her in general, she only tends to get anywhere between like 2 or 10%, depending on what state or districts or various voting blocks are taking place. And of course, we have a lot of division right now when it comes to the Democratic Party not really doing anything about abortion and allowing the genocide in Palestine to continue, which is another place where Jill Stein has stood tall as the only anti-genocide candidate running for election in the United States in this campaign 2024. So while I'm not necessarily here to speak to her as a candidate or to say that you should vote for her or that she would make a good president, I'm really not 100% sure on any of those issues, but there are certain things where she at least says that she's going to do something about it, unlike these other parties that have often used it as a hedge and a chance to use it for campaigning. It's possible that if a third party were to emerge in the United States, they could actually run and sort of free themselves of some of the corruption that the left and right have when it comes to the super PACs, when it comes to just them simply trying to keep the status quo the same way so that nothing ever really changes and nothing ever really gets better in this world. We just pretend that we're fighting the other side indefinitely, hoping that someday things will get better. So some of the comments say that, they love having this as an issue and not codifying it, and it means they never have to do anything meaningful for Americans. There's also another person noting that, the other 2 candidates are essentially Zionists, and Jill Stein is the only pro-Palestinian candidate that is not willing to see that genocide go further. It's an interesting issue, and it's deep and layered, and regardless of what you think on the specific issue of abortion, I think we can all agree that protecting the lives of women and children is important, and that even if you stand firmly against abortion, you can see that there are certain areas, such as when there's rape or incest, or if it is financially unstable for them to, or would be against the betterment of their health to mother a child and to go through with the birth that would potentially kill the mother or that could potentially kill the child. I think there's deeper issues and discussions there. You can't just simply ban abortion across the board, because what happens is people will either seek out illegal abortions, which are less safe, or you will have to literally either move to other states or drive to other states to get the treatment and care that you need, which honestly feels a little dystopian, the fact that you have to maybe drive into Louisiana or Oklahoma or what have you if you're in Texas. Texas has become this battleground and this place where a lot of women are dying from this, as she stated here. So it's a deep issue. It's complicated. It's not one we'll solve overnight, but I think it's important that we look at this and we use this as a chance to spur discussion and say, what are we doing here? Why aren't we making progress on this issue? And where are there some areas that we can potentially agree on this? We agree that women need access to health care, and a lot of the health care that women need comes from the access to care such as abortion stuff. It has doctors terrified that they can't even do treatments that are surrounding abortion or surrounding women's health care and stuff, so that women are going untreated with various things as well. So, there's a lot of things at play here, and while I do have a multifaceted opinion on this issue where okay, I do support abortion, but as a Catholic, I do see why, just using abortion as birth control would be wrong. But the majority of cases, that's not happening. It's usually being done the proper way, and there is no such thing as late-term abortions or post-birth abortions and stuff like that. There's a fictional thing there. So no one is aborting babies when they're literally about to be born. It's only within a certain amount of time that abortions are allowed to take place, and without the proper health care, you cannot see to the fact that women either know they're pregnant or know how far along they are and what the complications are that follow them with bringing a life into this world. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Keep it respectful. Respect others' opinions, even if you disagree. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the content we create on this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more politics here at Aaron Shack Politics. Take care, be safe, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.